Hey guys, welcome back to our Hat Workshop, and in today's video, we're going to be unboxing and assembling the BLtouch. So here are the components that you're gonna need. So I ordered one BLtouch 3.0 set. So this is the box it comes in, and it just has this enclosure in plastic and foam surrounding the probe, and it's just a box. And I also ordered an extra pair of 1.5 meter long cables so that it can go all the way around my printer. So now let's install these physically before we update the firmware for BLtouch. So here is what comes in the kit. So there's the BLtouch probe itself with the short cable, and then there's some springs, a kit with the bolts you need to install it, and some DuPont connectors, and these plastic headers. So that's it for the kit. And extension cable is just an extension cable. So the first step is to attach that instead of the small cable. So as you can see here, it is now done. The cable is one of the simplest parts of the assembly. So just stick it in there, in the white part right here, and then you put the DuPont connectors on the other side, which we're about to do in the circuit board. My printer is on the stands that I 3D printed for it, so it works very well for any upgrade or mod that you're gonna do to this, since it really elevates up your whole printer and also gives you access to the back panel very easily. So I already screwed on the BLtouch, and it's pretty simple. I have the SAT-SANA duct, so it works very well, and only thing you need to do is install this 50-15 fan, which is easy. Just attach the wires to the existing 40-10 fan wire. So very simple. And the BLtouch installation is also very simple. You just need to use the screws in the bag that you have. It's here now, the one with the DuPont connectors. You just put a washer on the screw, and then screw in with the bolt and the nut on the other side, and hold it with your screwdriver, a Phillips head, and then it's just done. Very simple. So now the next step, I'm going to open up the back panel here, the control panel, which you do by removing this nut right here on the top, and then 3 more nuts on the bottom. 1, 2, 3. And then be careful if the fan's gonna fall out. So as you can see here, all my cable management is actually done. So the cable is tied to the cable loom right here. I didn't put it inside because you might need to change some things up, and this is a lot better. So zip tying all the way around the back, and then we're gonna go right into the circuit board. So here it is. You basically just have to plug the DuPont cables in correctly. So I'm gonna show you right here. Just a closer look. Let's focus. Okay, so as you can see here, there's one DuPont cable. Oops, see, it fell out. That's why I'm about to hot glue it in. And so the DuPont cable with 3 cables, the orange one has to face out the front of the machine, which is here. So if I can do this correctly, sorry you can't see for a moment. Okay, so you just push it in, and since it's not the SMDU connector, it's not gonna stay in there by itself, so hot glue is the way to go. And the other one, which has 2 cables, the white and the black cable, is on top, which is closer to the front of the printer. The white cable faces out towards the front. So that's basically it. You just plug it in that way and hot glue it in so it stays secure. So basically, as right here, I have closed up the entire panel back, and make sure you don't snag the fan connector while it's open. So all the 4 screws that you're going to be needed to open and close the circuit board panel, the long one, which is the only one that's long, is going to go in the back right here. So if you forgot, that's where it goes. And the rest of the short ones are all the same, so here, here, and the top, they all fit the same. So that's basically it for the bottom part. So now the cable ties are all tied up, it's all tidy, and now it's time for the firmware. So now that's gonna be on the computer, so let's head to that. So this file is gonna be inside of the links in the description, and when you come across this page, be sure to choose this one, which is the Smith 3D Ender-3 V2 2.0 times 16 5 times 5 slow and then some numbers .bin. So now you're gonna put this file onto a blank SD card, which I already did, and insert it into your printer. This should be completely blank and erased except for the bin file that you just downloaded. And now plug your printer in, which I did, and now is the moment of truth when you turn on the printer to update to your BLtouch firmware. Okay, and now let's focus on the real thing. It'll start up like normal, but it'll take a while. And now, this is the correct thing. You should see this level menu instead of info on your old firmware. So that's great. And now, let's level the bed and set up all the things that is gonna make the bed level. So the first step in setting up your BLtouch after it's installed is to remove the existing Z-stop. So the way I did this was just unplug the cable from here, not from the circuit board, because you don't really need to do that, and then move it down just a bit if you don't want to take it off and have it lying around in your house. So I just moved it down a bit, and now if I push it all the way down, it should be right here. So yeah. And now the next step is, after you installed this software, click on prepare, and then all the way down, no, not all the way down, well, all the way down to Z offset tool, which is right there. So we're just gonna click on that. It'll home XYZ, and it's not gonna come to this corner as it usually does. It's gonna go straight to the middle of the bed, and the extruder is not gonna be on top of the bed. It's the probe that is gonna be on top of the bed. So as you can see, it uses a probe to detect the bed instead of the Z-stop. So yeah. Now it's finished homing, and right here you'll see this menu. So you're gonna click on Z offset to change it, and right now it's at 0 because it's not set yet. So there's about 50 millimeter gap in there, so like about 5 millimeters right there. So we're just gonna do 50 first. So once you do that, you press rehome Z. So it's just gonna go up and down again to see if it's closer. So it should be closer since we put in a negative value. So as you see here, is really close to the bed. So I'm just gonna do this in small incrementals for a few more times, and then use the paper technique to feel the scratches like you usually do when you level your bed normally, to see when it's perfect, and then you set the Z offset as you want to the perfect number. So I'm gonna do that and come back to you guys. So I finished tuning in my Z offset, and the number I got is not gonna be the same for you, is 1.70. So that is for my printer, and that's great. And when you're done with that, you're gonna come back to the main menu and then go to level. So you're gonna click on that, and I already did that, and it takes quite a while to finish doing it since it's probes down 2 times on every point, and there's 25 points. So once you do that, you're done. You can try printing something, which I am about to do, an XYZ cube. So it's been a few weeks now, actually, and I printed a few things. First of all, the XYZ cube, like I said I would print, and it came out perfectly, like a normal one would. The base adhesion was also good. I just waited for it to cool down before I took it out, because that's the best way to do so. I also printed these hanging people, like for climbing on stuff like your monitor or like even here on your 3D printer. So these are a very good test for bed adhesion, since they're very thin and they don't really have like that much contact surface, especially in the arms and legs. So it's a good test. And of course, I also tried to print some engines. They are very cool to play with. Just go on Thingiverse and search up print in place engines and you'll find this guy, Turbo Sunshine. And yes, and they just spin like this. And you can attach some of them to a drill. As you can see, I wrecked the piece. So I would really say that the BLtouch is a success and that it really works for my printer. One tip I would say is to level your bed as much as possible, but then the BLtouch will do the rest of this work. So if you get your BLtouch, have fun, because it's a really good thing to save your time during 3D printing instead of bed leveling every other time. So yeah, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time at Hat Workshop.